I think we can go ahead. 50 हो गया मतलब we can start.
ठीक है। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Hearty welcome to everybody on this first webinar session by EduSikh, supported by the Dadar Gurdwara, by the Singh Sabha Dadar, and of course by IMFS. Our agenda today shall be to talk about the changed circumstances of doing business in India, with new rulings coming in around a week or so about the MSME. This we thought was the right time to address our brethren about the challenges and the opportunities present about. So before we begin the session, let's take the blessings of our president of the Sri Guru Singh Sabha Dadar Gurdwara. I'm very glad to introduce to you, not that he needs introduction, Sardar Raghubir Singh Gilji, the president of the Sri Guru Singh Sabha Dadar Gurdwara. May I invite you to speak a few words and begin the session and bless us with this. Raghubir Singh Gilji.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। मैं सब ਨੂੰ ਦਿਆ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹਾਂ। आप ਨੂੰ सब भली बात पता ही है, कोविड-19 महामारी बहुत बुरी तरह दुनिया में फैली हुई है, जिस कारण पूरा संसार ही प्रभावित है और उसके वास्ते अभी तक कोई इलाज नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन अपना सारे रल मिल के इसके मुकाबला करना है। तो मुकाबला करने वास्ते भारत वर्ष प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी एमएससी ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਲਾਭ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ फाइनेंशियली जो ਸਾਨੂੰ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है उन्होंने हम बहुत ज़्यादा लॉकडाउन खुलने के बाद उसको किस तरह सॉल्व करना है और जो पैकेज है पैकेज को सब लाभ उठाने वास्ते किस तरह ਸਾਨੂੰ उसके फॉर्म भरने पैने हैं या किस तरह ਸਾਨੂੰ उसके अपनी जरूरतां दसियां पैनियां हैं और ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ जो साडे आज मेन स्पीकर हैं साहब परमजीत सिंह जी, सुखबीर सिंह जी, कामी और केपी साहब केपी सिंह जी, ये सारे ही और परमजीत सिंह जी जो अपने विचार आपके सामने रखेंगे।
Raghubir Singh Gilji, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद ਤੁਹਾਡਾ. So let us begin this session by inviting today to start a presentation. My pleasure is to introduce to you Sukhbir Singh Sani. He is a chartered accountant who started his practice almost 35 years ago. It's very interesting that he's among those very small number of chartered accountants who cleared the exam in the first attempt, and he in fact got the second rank all India. And therefore we are very privileged to have you today with us, sir. Sukhbir Singh Sani finished off his CA in the year 1985, and obviously in the last 35 years he's practiced and guided many a corporate to success. Hailing from a business family, he understands the mindset of the MSME business families, and he has been associated with many companies as the virtual CFO and has been responsible for their expansion across the globe. And he's a voracious reader and an equally voracious writer. He's a blogger, and one of his most popular blogs has been I, Pie and Chai. And of course, he's got the mindset of an entrepreneur. And today we request him, Sukhbir Singh Sani, to kindly share his views on the emerging scenario post-COVID-19 and with the new changes in the MSME law, and how our brethren can best take advantage of the changed circumstances. May I please request you to take the session forward. Sukhbir Singh Sani Veji.
Thank you, Ji. The session is designed in two parts, basically. I will be covering on what are the benefits that are available to the MSME, I mean, as per the regulations, and also the registry. I'll touch briefly upon the registration process and whatever are the new changes that will be covered by Paramjit Singh Ji. So I will start with the basics about the thing. I'll just share my screen. One second now. Okay. I hope everything is clear to everybody.
Yes, please.
Okay. So MSME is basically an acronym which means that micro, small, and medium enterprises. So the idea is that the government wants to support this sector. Generally, what happens is that as an entrepreneur, you start as a very small, or I would say as a micro enterprise, and slowly you start growing. And in that stage, which is called, I mean, as your childhood stage, which is the micro and the small, you need some support. And that is what the whole intention of this particular regulation is. So earlier, we had a lot of different regulations. You had a separate regulation for SSI and then other schemes and all. So in the year 2006, what the government did was it consolidated all these regulations into one act. Now the act basically aims at facilitating the promotion and development as well as enhancing the competitiveness. I mean, how should this SME or this MSME sector compete in this new environment? So that is what the whole objective of this act is. Now within the MSME, it is generally the micro and the small enterprises that get more benefit, because I mean, they are really very small and they require more support from the government because they are at the initial stage of their growth, and for them some extra measures are there. Medium enterprises also get benefit, but not to that scale. Basically, this is a central government act. However, the central government coordinates with the state government while implementing these schemes. So today I'm going to be covering it in very brief, but if you are interested in the details, you can go on to this website, which is msme.gov.in, and the details of the various schemes you will be able to see over there. Yeah. Moving forward, the question is, how do you define what is micro, what is small, what is medium? So initially, I mean, up to 13th of May, there was only one criteria. The criteria was, what is your investment? So basically, there are two types of enterprises which the government has selected for the benefits under the scheme. One is the manufacturing sector and the other is the services sector. So if you are manufacturing or producing some goods, you fall into the manufacturing sector. And if you are rendering any services, I mean, you could be a chartered accountant, you could be into air conditioning service, you could be providing rental of cars, whatever. I mean, all those are services. You could be an architect. It need not be just professional. It could be business also. Any kind of service which is there for the industry or even for personal services. I mean, you could be running, let us say, a salon or a spa. That also qualifies as a service. So the investment criteria earlier, which was there for manufacturing, if you have invested up to 25 lakh rupees in manufacturing sector, then you are a micro enterprise. Okay. And for service sector, the limit was 10 lakhs. Similarly, if your investment in manufacturing, let us say, is from 25 lakhs to 5 crores, you are a small enterprise. And between 5 crore to 10 crore, you are a medium enterprise. So if your investment is more than 10 crores, you are no longer MSME. And if you are no longer an MSME, you will not get any of the benefits. Okay. So this was the earlier, what you can say, scheme for manufacturing sector. For service sector, the limit was 10 lakhs. From 10 lakhs to 10 crore, you were a small enterprise. And from 2 crores to 5 crores, you were a medium enterprise. Okay. Now, it is not the investment in fixed assets. You have to see what is your investment in case of manufacturing in plant and machinery. And for the service sector, it was the equipments. So whatever are the equipments that you are using for providing that service, that will be the criteria. Secondly, what used to happen earlier was that turnover was not considered. So maybe you are investing, let us say, only 10 lakhs, but your turnover was, say, 20 crores. In the service sector, you would still qualify as a small enterprise. Now, what has happened is that from 14th of May, the government has come with new regulations. That was just recently, last week, when the finance minister came with the package for relief. That is when the new definition was brought in. This proposal has been there for a very long time, but it was never passed. But now with this new crisis, I mean, the government thought it appropriate to bring in this particular amendment now, and maybe they will bring an ordinance. So let us see what is the revised definition. Okay. So from 14th of May, two things have happened. First thing is that the distinction between manufacturing and the service sector, that distinction has been removed. So earlier, there were different limits for manufacturing and different limits for service sector. That has been done away. Second change is that there will be two conditions to be satisfied, and both the conditions have to be satisfied if you want to qualify. So there will be the investment limit as well as the turnover limit. Okay. So earlier it was only investment, and investment was to be different for manufacturing and service. Now it is uniform, but you have to satisfy two conditions. Now let us see what is the condition for a micro enterprise. Your investment can be up to 1 crore. Okay. And the second condition is your turnover should be up to 5 crores only. Only then you are a micro enterprise. If your turnover is 7 crores, you are not a micro enterprise. Then you will move to the next level. The next level is small enterprise, where the investment is from 1 crore to 10 crores. So that limit is for small enterprises. And here the turnover is up to 50 crores. So up to 50 crore turnover is small. You know, many times we feel very happy, oh, my turnover is 40 crores, but 40 crores is small by today's standard. Okay. And then comes the medium enterprise, where the investment limit is from 10 crores to 20 crores and turnover limit is 100 crores. Just day before yesterday, I was, watching Mr. Nitin Gadkari on television, and he said that for the medium enterprise, they want to revise these limits further. The investment will be up to 50 crore and turnover will be up to 200 crores. But that was a personal statement made by the minister, and there is no notification as yet. But most probably they will revise the medium enterprise turnover to 200 crores. Now there is a slight technical challenge here, because I mean, if you see the investment column, they say investment from 1 crore to 10 crore. Now what happens if my investment is 80 lakhs and my turnover is say 8 crores? Now because my investment is up to 1 crore, I am a micro. But if my turnover is 8 crores and I am in small. So am I a micro or a small? The answer to that is it will be small. It will be the next level, because you have crossed the turnover limit of the micro. Okay. So it could be either or. I mean, so you have to see in which higher category that you are fitting. So you cannot say that your investment is 80 lakhs. So you are not a small, you are a micro. Okay. Because based on the turnover, you are falling into small. I think there's a technical drafting error here. They should have said investment up to 10 crores instead of saying from 1 crore to 10 crores. If they had said up to 10 crores, then they would not have been this confusion. But I think they will rectify this. So based on these limits, you have to decide whether you are a micro, you're a small or a medium, because the benefits for each of these sectors is different. What is available in small is not available in medium, and vice versa. Okay, I'll just move forward. So what are the benefits available for the MSME sector? Again, I'm going to be very brief here. And if somebody wants more details, if you go to msme.gov.in, there is a section called FAQs. If you go in the FAQs, you will find all the details of various kind of queries which have been raised. Yeah. So I would definitely encourage you to visit these websites and get more knowledge. Now there are, I would say for me as an entrepreneur or a consultant, there are three main benefits. These are on the financial side and the legal side. So on these three main benefits, I would go in more detail. First benefit is the finance from the bank. Basically, MSME falls under the priority sector of lending. Therefore, the government actually has certain limits for all the banks that you have to lend to the priority sector. And if you are a registered MSME enterprise, they would always give you preference because this is a priority sector. Other very important feature is that there is no need for collateral. Now, what is this collateral? Basically, collateral is additional security. So let us say you want to buy some machinery, you go to the bank. So they'll say, okay, we will hypothecate that machinery, but over and above that machinery, we want some additional collateral. Maybe they will ask you to keep your house as a collateral. Now, nobody is comfortable, or sometimes people are not in a position to give that additional security, which is the collateral. Why does the bank ask for the collateral? They say the machinery, is a movable asset. A borrower may just take away that machinery and therefore the bank will be left with nothing. And therefore they want something additional, that okay, over and above the main security, we want collateral. So if you are a MSME and you are qualified, you are registered, the bank will not ask you for this collateral, which is a very good thing. Second thing, an MSME qualifies for lower rate of interest. So if you are not registered, you will be paying a higher rate of interest. And thirdly is you get subvention. Whatever interest you have paid, at the end of the year, you can tell your bank that I want subvention. So you have to fill a particular form. That form goes to the MSME council and whatever interest you have paid, 2%, up to 2% of that, you get it back. So let us say you had a loan at 10%. So 2% you will get back. So your effective rate is only 8%. Now that is, I mean, almost 20% reduction in your interest cost. So this is the benefit, the first benefit which you get. Okay. Second benefit, priority in payment. As per the MSME law, any buyer who's buying from MSME, he has to settle the dues of the MSME on the due date. And if he does not settle it on the due date, he is liable to pay you interest. That interest is 3 times the RBI rate. Now, if somebody has, and that interest is not allowed as a deduction to the buyer. So anybody who's buying from you, he will always make sure that MSME bills are paid on time. Okay. Now, if let us say for any reason there is no due date which has been agreed, then 15 days from the date of acceptance of the goods, that is automatically deemed to be your due date. And further, there is a provision that the agreed date cannot be more than 45 days from the date of acceptance. Like many large companies, they say we'll pay you after 90 days. But if you are a MSME, they have to pay you within 45 days. They cannot say we have agreed for 90 days because that agreed term is not valid. Okay. So this is the second major benefit that you get if you are a registered MSME. Okay. And the third one, the biggest problem in India is that if there is a dispute and you have to go to the courts, it will take decades for the court to decide anything in your benefit. However, if you are a MSME enterprise, you have a scheme which is called as MSME Samadhan. You go to the council, they will act as an arbitrator, and within 90 days of the reference, within 3 months, you will get the order. Now, what happens if you get the order and the buyer goes and appeals? If he goes in appeal, it will again take decades. So the law says that even if he goes in appeal, he will have to first deposit 75% of that amount in the court. And out of that 75%, the court will give you whatever it deems appropriate depending upon the bona fides of the case. So they are not in a position to just drag on, because many times the problem with the small scale sector is that we don't have the capacity to go to courts and fight for years. So this is another very important thing. So these first 3 features I feel are the most important. Now I'll move on to the other features, which I'll touch very briefly. So there are various measures taken for, increasing the competitiveness. And these are like, there are many technical things like lean manufacturing, communication tools, quality upgradation, design, management, marketing assistance. These are various schemes which are available. I will just touch briefly upon the important ones. Design. Now, universally, if you want to move up the value chain, the design of the product is very important. So if you are manufacturing any item, it could be anything. It could be a chair, it could be furniture, it could be simple things like, upholstery. Design plays a very important part. Now, SME sector is not in a position to appoint designers. Fortunately, the council has got various design clinics where you go there, talk to the council, they will help you with various designs. So that is one of the important features here. Then for energy efficiency, many times, the production process involves a lot of power consumption, and your major cost is power in many cases. Now, there are various measures in which you can make your processes more energy efficient. And for this, you will get a capital subsidy of 25%, which means that if you are spending 100 rupees, let us say you're a textile manufacturing unit, and you have the fluorescent tube lights in your factory. Now those tube lights, they consume a lot of power, and you want to change all the tube lights, or you want to put a different transformer which will reduce your electricity consumption, and you have to spend 25 lakhs on the upgradation. Now you feel that this is a very high cost. The government will give you subsidy. So out of 25 lakhs, 6,25,000 will be contributed by the government. Okay. So now your cost, instead of 25 lakhs, it has become 18,75,000. And that also you will get as loan. Okay. So this is how you can upgrade, you can improve your power, you can make it more energy efficient, and there is less strain on your cash flows also. Yeah. Second thing is product quality certification. Now, everybody would have heard about ISO 9000, ISO 16000. So these are quality certifications. So if you want to enter, or if you want to sell your goods to a reputed company, maybe domestically or internationally, you need these certifications. Without these certifications, they will not even entertain your offer. Now, to get this certification, an MSME can get up to 75% subsidy. So if you have spent, let us say 2 lakh rupees, 1,50,000 rupees will be given back to you by the MSME Council. So your cost is only 50,000. So earlier you were scared, oh, I'll have to spend 2 lakh rupees. But here, if you're getting back 1,50,000, your cost is only 50,000. Okay. So this is again a very good thing where you can, get yourself all these certifications. Similarly, there are various other technology upgradation schemes where you go to the MSME Council, they will guide you that, this old technology which you are using is no longer a good thing for your sector. Why don't you upgrade? And for that, again, they will give you 15% capital subsidy. That means 15% of the cost is borne by the government. You have to spend only 85%. And that 85% also, they'll give you loans. Okay. Again, you have a small workshop and you need certain tools. I mean, you don't have designers in-house. You don't have a tool room. What do? You buy from outside. Now, naturally, if you had the own design and you had done those tools yourself, you would have saved on that. And maybe you're not even aware what kind of tools, what kind of jigs, what kind of fixtures are to be used. So there are state-of-the-art tool rooms which have been made available by the MSME Council exclusively for the MSME sector. And this is where you can, use that facility. Similarly, there are various training programs where, you can be skilled in the new technology, new developments. They have different kind of programs, soft skills, internet, communication, design, all those kind of training programs are conducted where you can upgrade your skill and you are with the world, Another important scheme is the cluster development. Here what happens is that, instead of units being spread in different sectors, you together, let us say 4 or 5 people go together and they say we want to make a cluster over here. Then they have different facilities there where common facilities are made available to that cluster. It could be like, say, for example, pollution control. If each unit has to install a pollution control equipment, it will be very costly. But if it is in a cluster and 10 units share that cost, that is how you reduce your cost. So there are other schemes also, like for example, you get preference in government tenders. And in these tenders, if you are a MSME, you do not have to pay EMD, the deposits. Okay. Stamp duty concessions are there. In electricity bills, you get concessions. There are certain products which are reserved for the SME sector. You can get those facilities. Testing facilities are also there for the MSME sector. So if you go onto this website of the MSME on the FAQ side, you can see all these benefits. Okay. lastly, I mean, in India, even if you want to close an enterprise, it becomes very difficult. There is, I mean, lot of red tapeism for closing an enterprise. But if you are a non-corporate and you are a MSME, they have a very simple scheme where you are able to close your enterprise without going through all those formalities. Yeah. So these were the benefits which are available to the MSME. So I think many of us, you know, we are sometimes because of ignorance, sometimes because of lethargy, we feel, you know, why should we go and take all these benefits? But believe me, I mean, if you are able to get some benefit, it will increase your competitiveness, it will reduce your cost. So why should you not do it? You know, I don't see any reason why you should not get yourself registered. In fact, today, wherever you go, they first ask you, are you MSME? So it is better that you get yourself registered. Yeah. So question is now how to register. Earlier, I mean, the registration process was offline, and this was one of the reasons why people used to be put off. But now everything is online. You just have to log in to that particular, I mean, it is called udyogadhar.gov.in. Put your Aadhaar number. So if you're a proprietor or a partner or a director, you put your Aadhaar number, and based on that, a form will come. It is very simple, very easy. Certain self-attested copies of addresses, your GST and all. I mean, it will guide you step by step. It is not at all difficult. So you can do it yourself, or you can ask your chartered accountant to do it. It is very simple, and you will get the number immediately. It is not that you have to wait, you have to follow up. You will get the number immediately. MSME registration number, certificate will come. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much. And if you have any queries, I mean, you can always write to me. My email address is sukhbir@sukhbir.net. Okay. KB, can I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, please. Thank you. That was extremely informative. And I especially like that comment you made that when there are so many benefits to be taken, why not take advantage? I think gone are the days when we as a community went ahead and did Sarbat Ka Bhala without thinking of ourselves. Now it's high time that while we serve the humanity and people at large, we also take care of ourselves. So that talk was extremely enlightening. As you said at the beginning of your talk, there shall be two parts to this session. One was addressed by you, and the second speaker and the last speaker of the day, of course, is Paramjeet Singh. He is an income tax commissioner. He is also the founder and the national trustee of the Dharma Bharati Mission, and the founder of EduSikh, which is the body that actually brought up this talk in front of everybody. So may I now request Sardar Paramjeet Singh Ji to kindly share the screen, and may I request everybody who's attending that you may please keep posting your question in the chat box at the end of the session, which will be in another 20 minutes or thereabouts. We will answer or we'll request the two panelists to answer as many questions as they can. As suggested by everybody, we will endeavor to share the PPTs presented by both the speakers today. So please keep putting your questions and we will address them at the end of the session. May I please request Sardar Paramjeet Singh to now share the screen and take over.
Thank you, KP. And thank you, Sukhbir, for the very good presentation. I'll be now talking about, as you mentioned, the recent benefits that have been announced in the MSME sector. So I'll start by sharing my screen. So this program today has been brought by EduSikh along with Dadar Singh Sabha and the help of IMFS. So we're very happy to bring this, and we hope in future ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲਿਆਂਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੈ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ बढ़ाने ਵਿੱਚ, and it can help all of us in progressing. So फर्स्ट मैं दिखाना चाहूंगा कि एमएसएमई सेक्टर कितना इंपॉर्टेंट हैगा है, लोग सोचते कि इधर कंट्रीब्यूशन किएगा। आज दे दिन देयर आर 6.33 करोड़ MSMEs in India. Which 2.6 are in manufacturing sector, जो कि ज्यादातर ancillary units है बड़े industry दे, and rest are in the service sector. But out of this 6.33, as Sukhbir had mentioned, that these are very small units. Most of them are India. We have very small units. So 6.3 crore are micro units. That is almost 99.4% units are micro units. Only around 3.3 lakh are small units. That is only just 0.52%. And just 5,000 units in India are medium. That is 0.07%. So this is just to give an idea what are we dealing with. And out of these 6.33 crore MSMEs, only 90 lakh units are registered as of now. That is only 14%. So it's not very understandable why people don't go in for, as you will see in my presentation, there are a lot of benefits, and Sukhbirji also mentioned there are a lot of benefits. Mostly it is ignorance that people don't know what unit is covered and why and what are the advantages. But only 90 lakh units as are registered. And MSMEs constitute about 90%, 95% of total industry units. The large industry units which are not MSME are just 5% in India. And the second contribution, if you see, is that MSMEs contribute around 30% of India's GDP. Now, India's GDP is 200 lakh crore, and thus MSMEs are contributing around 60 lakh crores annually. They contribute to 40% of India's exports, and they employ 12 crore people. Now, as the first benefit that, as already Sukhbirji has mentioned, is a change in the definition of MSMEs. Earlier, it was only based on investment. Now it is investment and turnover both. And as he mentioned, there is a rethinking going on that maybe it will be made into investment or turnover. As of now, today, the turnover is more important. Like Sukhbirji had given an example where your investment, say, is 80 lakhs, but your turnover is more than 5 crores. So where will you fall? So the turnover will determine. Turnover define karega to ki tusi kis small ho gaye ki micro. So turnover again, as of now, it is more important. And as he mentioned in the medium, there is a proposal to increase the turnover from 100 crore to 250 crores. So this is the first benefit that has occurred. Now, people up to investment up to 20 crores are able to get benefit of MSME. Earlier, it was not there. So why this has been increased? पहले की होता था MSME ਨੂੰ डर लगता ਸੀ कि if एक size साडा ਵੱਡਾ हो गया ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ MSME ਦਾ benefit नहीं लाएंगे, तो they grow नहीं करते ਸੀ. So we want MSMEs to grow, and that is why these larger definitions have been brought. Investment limits and turnover limits have been brought. So now they can grow, they can expand, and they can still get the benefit of MSME sector. As I said, the latest news is that the turnover limit and the investment limit for medium sector is being revised. The second benefit that the recently government has given, MSME has already, Sukhbirji told, they are entitled to collateral-free loans. Now, additional collateral-free loan has been announced because of COVID. So 3 lakh crores of collateral-free automatic loans. These are allowed to already existing MSMEs who have taken loans. So any borrower, jida 5 crore tak outstanding hai as well, from 1 lakh to 5 crore, any amount which is outstanding, and 100 crore tak turnover hai, whatever, 1 lakh bhi turnover hai, 100 crore turnover hai, he is now eligible for loan till 31st October, additional loan. He should be already an existing borrower, no additional loan milega. And this loan period will be for 4 years. And pehla saal is principal di wapsi nahi karne ki. There will be a moratorium of 12 months on principal payment. Only interest payment has to be made, and there will be no principal payment to be made in the first year. And fresh loan kinna milega? Oh, aega ki whatever is outstanding as on today, to that 20% maximum milega. So that already jada borrower hai, already he has spent the money, he can get 20% more for, because he's not getting orders, fresh orders, only fixed capital pay karna hai, salary pay karni hai, fixed cost pay karna, he can avail this loan to get used to that. And interest rate has been capped. There was this 9.2%, 9.25% maximum interest bank can charge, not more than that. But अगर NBFC से ले रहे नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल कंपनीज उधरों मतलब the interest can be charged up to 14%. And the 100% of the loan has been guaranteed by government. So why this has been done कि बैंक नो loan देने हिचकिचाहट ना, because actually liquidity की जरूरत है कि MSME जो the government wants to give loan without any security, without any bank do कोई परेशानी ना करना से. So they say that our entire amount of loan is guaranteed by central government through the credit guarantee. So the bank will have no hesitation in giving you the loan. But उधर flip side किए गए. Flip side है कि only 45 lakh units will get benefit. Only 90 lakh registered, which 45 lakh नु खाली मिलेगा क्योंकि most of them are not borrowers and are not filling the criteria. And secondly, as I said कि अगर जिन्हें लोन नहीं लेता है उधर वास्ते स्कीम काम नहीं करेगी because जिन्हें already borrowers है कि उन्हें वास्ते ये किया. The industry MSME the feedback है कि they don't need loan. Okay, loan तो ultimately 4 साल इच करना ही पड़ेगा वापस. They need some cash support चाहिए है जो कि उन्हें वापस ना करना पड़े. So it is their demand. And thirdly, they are saying that अगर ये बैंक की कर दे सब कि if your already existing loan is थोड़ा default है, the bank की कर दे loan sanction करके adjust कर लेते हैं उधर principal outstanding against. So their demand is that this loan which is given, it should not be adjusted against the already outstanding demand. So a clarity थोड़ी और आनी है. And many small business, as I already mentioned, they are wary of taking fresh loan because they think that आगे डिमांड कितनी होगी, ऑर्डर कितना इंडस्ट्री चलेगी, ऑर्डर मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. सो दे वांट फिक्स कॉस्ट. एंड दूसरा द फ्लिप साइड है कि बिकॉज दिस लोन इज फुल्ली गारंटीड, बैंक विल एडहॉक डिसबर्समेंट करेंगे. बैंक में कोई रिस्क नहीं है तो लैंड वाला भी उन्होंने कहेगा कि जब गारंटीड लोन है मैं भी वापस नहीं करूंगा. सो देयर इज अ रिस्क ऑफ क्रेडिट कल्चर डिटोरेटिंग. सो एज लेटेस्ट स्कीम है कि आई एम टेलिंग यू बोथ द प्रॉस एंड कॉन्स कि मतलब कर सकते हैं व्हाट इज द हार्म इन the scheme. The third benefit is subordinate debt to stressed MSMEs. Government has said that one is, as I told you, that is a collateral free loan जो कि company नो मिलेगा. Subordinate debt है कि MSME नो indirectly मिलेगा. वो की करेंगे एदेच मतलब they will give the loan to the promoter of the company and that promoter can bring this amount back in the MSMEs as is equity. So this loan, of course, will not be collateral free. अगर जो promoter है, if he has to take the loan, he'll have to give all types of securities, and then only he can get it. And that amount he can invest in the MSME. So it is expected that around 2 lakh MSMEs can be benefited. The amount earmarked is 20,000 crores. Earlier they had said that 3 lakh and 20,000, but now as the government has sleight of hand, they have said that this 20,000 is out of that 3 lakh. So that amount has been reduced to 2,80,000 and 20,000 here. Then the fourth benefit that the government has given recently is equity infusion through fund of funds. Government is making a fund of funds where it will create a corpus of 10,000 crores and they will invest in MSMEs as equity. So अगर कोई चंगी कंपनी MSME चंगी काम कर रही है, government will pick a stake in that. मतलब वो partner बन जाएगी equity इन्वेस्ट करके. So 50,000 crore तक they will invite money from other investors also like venture capital funds and others. And government अपने 10,000 crore, they will invest 50,000 crore in MSMEs as equity participation from government. So it will invest in viable MSMEs and they also want to encourage MSMEs to list on stock exchanges. Other loans, last year government had announced a scheme for restructuring of the debt of MSME sector, which was ending on 31st March 2020. Around 5 lakh MSMEs last year took advantage of the restructuring of loan, and the government has now decided to extend this scheme for 1 more year till 31st March 2021. So any MSME who is not able to pay the money, they can go for restructuring under this scheme and they can have the loan restructured. Lastly, one more app-based invoice financing. As Sukhbir had mentioned, that government is very keen that the amount due to MSME should be paid in time. That is why they have put up with numerous conditions that 15 days, maximum 45 days, it's payment karni hai. The one more process that they're doing is an app-based invoice financing loans product they're launching, where the delayed payment is सामने immediately credit मिल जाएगा, and that amount can be adjusted against the bill receipt. If the details are more still to come, they have not been notified. So as the details will come, we can share with all of you as the more details will come. Then what government has done is MSMEs, because they are small in size, they were not able to participate in big tenders because foreign companies they also used to participate. The वो सारे contract ला जाते थे. And MSMEs being not technically sound and not being able to face competition from global companies, now government has said that up to 200 crore contracts, no foreign company will be allowed to participate. It will be solely reserved for Indian companies. So that is a very big boost for the Indian industry. This is the very few one of the very few support that government is, where the government is giving cash actually to the MSME. उन्होंने क्या है कि all small companies which are having up to 100 employees, 100 तक कम employee है, और जिन्हों दे employees the salary 90% of their employees are getting salary less than 15,000. There the government will pay 24% PF money directly for on behalf of the company and the employees. वो government pay करेगी. तो पता है कि कंपनी ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ PF ਵਿੱਚ ਰਜਿਸਟਰਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ 12% employee ਦਾ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ employee ਵੀ 12% ਭਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ. So for these companies, government will pay 24%. earlier ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 3 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ up to April, May, March, April, May. Now they've extended for 3 more months, that is June, July, August. So at 6 महीने 24% of that amount will be paid by government, and employees and company doesn't have to pay. So it will benefit some 3,67,000 companies which are falling in that range, and around 72 lakh employees will benefit from this scheme. And government will spend around 2,500 more. 2,500 पहले कितना थी, around 5,000 हो जाएगा. And for other companies who are not falling in the above scheme, their government has allowed them to be 24 the jagah, they can pay only 10% each. The employer can also pay 10% and the employee can also pay 10%. So that 2% thoda liquidity company को भी हो जाएगी और the 2% liquidity employee को भी हो जाएगी. So these are companies which are not falling in the above criteria. And this scheme also initially it was for 3 months. Now 10 महीना और बढ़ा देते up to July. They have increased up July 2020. Then outstanding dues the jada इन्होंने mention किया सी कि despite having this law about 45 days, most of the central government companies, railways, defense, none of them are paying the money in time. And though the MSME can go to that arbitration council to get the money immediately, most of them don't go. नहीं जानते क्योंकि उन्हें डर लगता है. उन्हें लगता है अगर ਅਸੀਂ इन्हां खिलाफ कंप्लेंट करेंगे तो सानू अगे ऑर्डर नहीं मिलेगा, आगे वो सानू बिजनेस नहीं करेंगे साडे नाल, तो नहीं जानते. तो आज दे दिन च MSMEs ਦਾ 5 lakh crore rupees outstanding है from all these companies. The central government ने हुने announce किया है कि the 10,000 crore ਜਿਹੜਾ central government ਦਾ है that they will release within 45 days immediately. And they have asked state governments to also do that, and they have requested private corporations also to release the money in 45 days. But central government the commitment है 10,000 crore immediately they will release within 45 days. Then there are certain general reliefs which sabnu mili hai, which can be claimed by registered MSMEs also. Like there has been a reduction of 25% in TDS and TCS rates. Say now अगर ਤੁਹਾਡਾ TDS कटता है 10% तो it will be 7.5% कटेगा. तो क्योंकि थोड़ा liquidity ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ रहे, liquidity ਵਧਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ. तो all TDS except on salary, the TDS rates have been decreased. Consultancy मानो 10% ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, वो भी 7.5 होएगा. So you can, when you are paying also, you need to deduct less, and those paying to you can also deduct less. Then of course the last date to file returns has been increased from September to 30th November. And जड़ा audit कराने सी उदी date भी increase कर दी थी October तक. Then government ने कहा है कि no new bankruptcy can be filed for 1 year. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ आजकल जब तो national NCLT वगैरह IBC जड़ा आया है Insolvency Act, but then that if you are not able to pay your money, any company can take you to that NCLT for declaring you a bankrupt. So for next 1 year, even if you are in default, no bankruptcy can be filed for 1 year. And in any case, after that also, the minimum default threshold it has been increased from 1 lakh to 1 crore. पहले तो अगर किसी ने 1 लाख रुपए भी लेना सी और तुम नहीं दे पा रहे सी, तो he could have taken you to the NCLT and declared you bankrupt if you're not paying the money. But now, as सारे छोटे लोगों ने up to 1 crore, bankruptcy proceedings cannot be filed against you. Then government has indicated that MSMEs वास्ते they are going to have a separate IBC Act. जो IBC general बड़ी companies वास्ते है, they are very stringent, but IBC वास्ते government has said they are making a new framework which will be very थोड़ा MSMEs को favor कर दे बनाने के, जिथे कि resolution will be more important than going for insolvency. Like सुबीर जी ने क्या कि उत्थे भी payment जब नहीं मिलती, you can go in for arbitration. So similar thing they are bringing in IBC also, that more stress will be, even bank also they will say that don't go in for winding up the MSME. उन्हों किस तरह चलान मतलब कंटिन्यू करना, MSME नु कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए वो allow करेंगे. Then Maharashtra government has recently indicated, it has not finalized as yet, they are also trying to give some benefits to the MSMEs registered in Maharashtra. उन्होंने क्या है कि 3-month waiver of fixed electricity charges to registered MSMEs. So Maharashtra has around 17 lakh registered MSMEs, out of which 6 lakh are in manufacturing and rest in services. So I have just written that Sukhbir ji is already a registered MSME, so he will get this benefit even if he can afford or not, but he will get this benefit. Then there are fresh loan that government ने क्या loan अगर तुसी ले रहे MSME, then up to 5% interest Maharashtra government will bear. So अगर 9.5% the loan है, so Maharashtra government is saying that for 1 year they will take up the 5% interest and rest the company has to pay. And उन्होंने क्या है कि if the company is retaining 100% of staff at existing salaries, तो जितने employees है उन्होंने अगर तुसी retain किता किसी ने कढ़िया नहीं, same salary पे रखे रहे, then government will give 2-month basic. Maharashtra government will pay 2-month basic salary of those employees. So, but these have not been notified; they are under discussion. But Maharashtra government is expected to come out with a notification very soon. And of course, Maharashtra government has also indicated that all state pending dues to MSMEs will be cleared within 45 days. They have also indicated that. Then for startups, there is no separate relief. But any startup which is not registered as MSME, they can do register now, and they will also get the same benefits which have been announced to any MSME. Currently, startups get support only from SIDBI. The fund of funds does 10,000 crore. That SIDBI invests like a venture capital company in these startups, and so far they have invested around 3,798 crores in the startups. But now startups can register as MSME and get the benefits. Now, how to become an MSME? Sukhbir ji has already mentioned. This is the link. Any existing or new business can go and get registered. It is a very, very simple process. Aadhaar card is compulsory and it is done very quickly. Trading companies cannot become service. A lot of questions are asked on trading companies. No trading companies, only manufacturing and service. So I'll just give you an example of what kind of companies are there, like coaching classes, CA, placement and consultancy. Even if you run a Xeroxing company where you are offering some service, they are also MSME. Pharma units, auto ancillary units, CCTV and security agencies, IT solutions, testing labs, leather making, auto repair services, furniture making, even tailoring, because it is a service industry, handicrafts. So all these industries are qualified as MSMEs. Only where you are just buying and selling, where you're not doing anything, any process, that is not allowed under MSME. And all these benefits can be taken even today if you register. It is not that कि as 13 मई को announce की था 13 मई से पहली वाली industry में मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. Even if you register today, all these benefits will accrue to you. So our purpose of sharing was this only, that even if those of us who are not registered, आज भी उन्हें register कर दे ऐसी, तो सारे benefits सानू मिल सकते हैं. Thank you very much. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
Thank you, Paramjit Virji. That was extremely enlightening. And just to reiterate the point that you made, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ advice ਤੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ I registered for MSME and I got the license or the certificate within 2 hours.
Wow.
ਤੇ ਇਹ ਔਖਾ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ, ਬੜਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਹੈਗਾ. Every one of us can take advantage. When I hope ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ government of Maharashtra is about to notify all these things, ਸਾਡੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ notify ਜਲਦੀ ਕਰਨ.
बिल्कुल.
Because benefits that you've discussed are tremendous. They're absolutely
They are actually
fantastic.
cash incentives. Government of Maharashtra's incentive jode hain, they are actually cash incentive as compared to central government, which are more on credit side.
Right. And when you speak about electricity charge waivers and government of Maharashtra paying salary for 2 months, I think they're all fantastic initiatives. So with your permission, the two panelists, there are a lot of questions. So I will read out a few. I know we've got another half an hour to go for the session to end. So the first debate that everybody had, which I think both of you answered very lucidly, key trading companies, MSME shni aandi, ya te manufacturing hove, ya te service industry hove, trading jede again, oh which nahi aange de. फिर एक डिबेट छिड़ी सीगी about the issue कि ਵੱਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹ ਪੇਮੈਂਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੀਆਂ. I think ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੜੀ ਹੁਨਰ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਲਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ. ਪਰਮਜੀਤ ਵਿਰਜੀ, want to say something I think on that.
Basically, that is always there when we are एक ऋषि ने लिखा है, ऋषिराज ने लिखा है कि generally if you are getting registered और कंपनी में रहता है कि यार ये registered company, इनके साथ मुझे बहुत सारे रूल फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे, तो अगर मुझे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देना है मैंने, तो I will rather give to somebody who's not registered. But see, ultimately if all of us get registered, then कितने जाएगी कंपनी?
Correct.
तो मतलब that is what our intention is कि we should all get registered. कोई नुकसान तो कोई है नहीं registration का, because only some of us are registered. The bigger company is able to take advantage कि वो नहीं registered वाले को जाएगा.
Right, बिल्कुल. So just to reiterate the point ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ trading ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏਗੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ wholesaler ਵੀ trading ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਆਣਗੇ.
हाँ जी, वो भी नहीं cover.
Wholesaler भी cover नहीं होंगे. So मनमोहन पाहुजा पाजी, I think that question is covered.
So their rule is to see that अगर कोई चीज मैं खाली लेके मतलब मैं खरीदी ते बेच दी,
हाँ जी,
without doing any process, then it is not covered under this.
So every company, whether it's delivering a service, चाहे वो security क्यों ना होवे, चाहे is it tailoring होवे या
carpentry है,
carpentry होवे, they are all service oriented. So Anshuman Singh ji, you're under an MSME, so all the benefits जिन्हां ने गल कीती, all of them will of course come to you as well. Moving on to Shweta Chopra, she says मेरी service industry business हैगी, a travel firm which comes in MSME. I think a question to see already answered kita ki all the benefits come into the travel industry, obviously. Moving on, any annual fees to the best of my knowledge, sir? Any annual fees?
There's no annual fees.
There is no annual fees. And did you see gal kare si Paramjit Virji about all these benefits? For example, about payment of the Provident Fund. That's only up to August. Us to baad extend any, maybe it gets extended, but as of now it's only up to August.
It was only for 3 months, 3 whole months. Correct.
ठीक है जी. So now Manmohan Singh ji has a question. Earlier limit for MSME was less, which is enhanced now, but grading given in Udyog Aadhaar is as per at the time of registration, and corporate will take that rating in consideration. So the question is, can we change our rating now as per the new slabs, and how to do it, and what are the qualifying limits?
Virji, will you like to answer that?
Yeah. So basically, if you go to the Udyog Aadhaar website, you are allowed to modify your registration at any point of time. Now, once these rules are officially notified and they'll make those changes on the website, so I think maybe next week that should become effective. So that time you go and modify your rating and you'll get a fresh registration.
Perfect. And does it have to be JD services you provide kar rahe hain, does it have to be in a registered office, or can one operate from home? Ki car to bhi banda kaam kar sakta hai, is it allowed?
The house can be the registered office.
Anji?
because they
House can be
promote-
declared as a registered office. Sorry, please.
they want to promote even self-employed. So even if you do not have a single employee, okay, let us say you are a housewife. Incidentally, I mean, for women entrepreneurs also there is a special scheme which I forgot to mention. So if you are a woman entrepreneur working from home, you have no employee.
Correct.
Let's say you are doing home baking. Baking is also production, manufacturing. So you qualify for that.
And any number of employees, I think you just clarified, you don't need to have employees.
Yes.
No.
Correct. So
Haan ji.
Ashneet Kaur, Anand ji, tada sawal udesh clear ho gaya. And moving on to more questions. Is 20% of outstanding on 29 February 2020? Gurmeet Singh Paji wants to know.
Haan ji.
Anji.
So what is the question there?
I think it's in reply to the earlier. So it's a debate
Okay.
happening between our
Okay.
people. So GS Pasrija wanted to know whether any loan is available. So 20% of outstanding is what Gurmeet Singh ji has
So
said.
that is a new scheme that has been announced. But as Sukhbir ji mentioned, that otherwise priority sector lending MSME di hegi. Those who do not have loan are, if they are viable units, they can go to any bank and get loans on priority. In fact, banks have separate MSME branches. There are 2,500 branches which are exclusively for MSME banks.
Right. So now there's a question about the criteria of eligibility. So Amrik Marwaji wants to know that it is his understanding that the investment criteria as per new classification is not limited to plant and machinery equipment. It is broader now. So I think he wants clarification on that point. Is it broader now?
So first thing is that land is not covered.
Haan ji.
Land and building is not covered. Only the equipment that is used for production in manufacturing, which and service, which just like KP, you have an office.
Ji.
So your office cost will not be covered. The building and but the equipment that you use to run your business, that is considered as the qualifying amount.
Perfect.
Everywhere.
Perfect. Perfect. So Sanmeet Singh ji wants to know, when they go to banks and ask for MSME collateral free loan, they refuse to process such request. So he wants to know, is there an agency that can guide us on how to proceed in such a manner? So somebody who can guide them to take the project ideas and then they can help them frame appropriate reports to submit to these nodal agencies. Koi average agency hai is waqt?
Sukhbir ji,
See, generally a bank will not refuse because this is a priority sector. And today, I mean, if anybody harasses you, you just write a simple email to PMO office. Within 24 hours, they act. So I don't think, maybe if you're going to a non-scheduled bank, then yes, it is possible. But if you go to a scheduled bank, I mean, unless, there is no proper paperwork in the terms of making a project report showing the viability, or let's say you're not registered in GST or there are defaults in GST. I mean, on those bases, they may turn you down, but not otherwise.
Right.
And as far as people who can help you, I mean, your existing chartered accountant should be able to prepare all those documents and compile it. If you are not in a position to do it, then you can take professional help. But it's not very difficult. So if you can do it yourself also, I mean, that's the best thing.
Right. So there's another question which is slightly different from the earlier ones, which is there is an existing unit. There is no loan at present from any bank. He got registered with MSME 20 days back. And the question is, will I now get a loan from present scheme after COVID-19? And if he can, how does he get that loan?
So these additional, the 3 lakh crore loan is only for the existing units and who have already borrowers. But loan वैसे भी मिल रहा है MSMEs no, that is see what they have done कि already company ने loan ले आया है आगे की करे तो उन्हें वास्ते additional loan has been announced. But if you have not taken loan, sorry.
That is automatic. That 20% top up is automatic.
Yes. And now you can again go, if you have an industry, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ plant and machinery ਹੈਗੀ है, then you can go and take a loan. That is allowed.
Right. And is construction under MSME? Is it a service industry?
Yes, construction
Yes,
stuff.
real estate service.
Yes.
Okay,
Anywhere you are doing some work to improve anything, that is covered.
perfect. And then the question by Devinder Singh ji is about, he says, lots of entrepreneurs are in the midst of loan repayment, especially automobiles. So paying interest on stocks in mid of slowdown in revival for the same. I'm sorry, the question is not very clear. So I assume he's asking about, will he get some leeway on the paying of interest on stocks in the middle of the slowdown? I assume that's the
There's
question.
a moratorium which is available. Earlier it was 3 months, so the moratorium has now been extended to 6 months. Secondly, the interest on the working capital also will be converted into a
Term loan.
term loan. So, I mean, all these liquidity infusion measures have been taken, even though they might not have given you any kind of a subsidy, direct cash benefit. But yes, on the liquidity front, they have done a lot.
Right. At the moment, I think we have more or less run out of any fresh questions. So this point is clear that you have to approach to a nationalized bank only for an MSME approved.
No,
Yeah?
all banks,
All banks, all scheduled banks.
HDFC, Axis,
All
everybody.
scheduled banks.
All
scheduled banks can do this.
See, all banks have to give 40% of their loans to priority sector, which includes agriculture and MSMEs.
Right.
So they cannot just give all their loan to big industry. This is mainly done to that they should give some amount of loan to small people also. So 40% of the loans has to go to these industries.
Right. So Gurmeet Singh Sarupji, may I request you to put your question on the chat. We can ask our panelists any doubts that you may have. At the moment, gentlemen, we seem to have run out of questions that need to be answered or doubts. I think you've been both gracious with your time. So unless anybody has any more questions, I think the session was extremely informative. So I know I'm an entrepreneur, and therefore to me it was very enlightening, and I thank you for the guidance provided.
What we will like to say is that we will request everybody to get registered. Today we come kar rahe ne. See, even if your turnover is 1 lakh or 5 lakh or 1 crore, we request that there is no disadvantage in getting registered.
Ji.
More and more people should get registered. Te aage fayda hoega sabda.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So with the permission of Raghbir Singh Gill ji and Sukhbir Vir ji and Paramjit ji, I think we'd like to therefore come to a close of this session today. What we promise you is this is the beginning of a dialogue. It's a process of learning, relearning. And what is extremely important for everybody to realize is with COVID-19, the world has changed and there will be changes to come. And as Sikhs, we've always been recognized for our ability to be entrepreneurs and to think out of the box. And therefore, in hindsight, may I put across this position that last week, under the aegis of Dharma Bharati Mission and IMFS, we organized a session with Cisco, and a company that provides training in various fora, obviously online training. And I strongly encourage every entrepreneur and your children especially to join us to learn courses from Cisco, which are being offered because of the Association of Dharma Bharati Mission and NGO, which Paramjit Singh ji heads. We're getting these at extremely discounted rates. So why is it necessary for us to learn? Because the future will ensure that only the fittest and the most knowledgeable will survive. And therefore, this is the beginning of a great journey of dialogues. And of course, with the support of the Guru Singh Sabha Dadar Gurdwara and with advisors like Sukhbir Paji and Paramjit Virji, we shall continue having many more such sessions in the future. But at the moment, we will like to end the session with a small wind-up address by Manmohan Singh Rati ji from the Shri Guru Singh Sabha Dadar Gurdwara. Manmohan Virji, could you please address us for 2 minutes before we wind up the show?
Shall I?
Hanji, please go ahead, sir.
Hanji, Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru ji ki
Vaheguru ji ki Fateh.
Fateh.
ਫਾਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸੈਲਾਬ ਆਣਾ ਨਾ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਉਪਜਾਊ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਜੋ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਆਇਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅਸਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਐਂਡ back to square one ho gaya. So this is just a first step towards living with COVID and beyond COVID. and Shri Guru Singh Sabha and all our Paramjit Singh ji, KP Singh ji, Sukhbir Singh Sani, everyone is requested that we should not only stop here and keep on addressing all the social, economical and religious issues as the time comes, and maybe once in a quarter, once in a month, whatever is comfortable to everybody. And so many people listening to me, I request everybody to give their opinions also, what subjects are to be addressed and what are the pain points after this COVID and during the COVID-19, so that we get the feedback and we analyze and then start programming what is best for our community in general and humanity as a whole. मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि सारे नु आज मेरे ख्याल there are almost 80-90 people were there, so this number should grow and more input should come. And there is one suggestion from our Kulwant Singh ji, Vice President, के Sikh Chamber of Commerce इसके ऊपर भी अपन ने सोचना चाहिए है. Maybe in near future we should plan, strategize how to move forward and take our community to a different level. So masses we are not able to address properly. So how to reach to the masses of our community? This SADA involve the youth and give them directions how to compete with the world. In service we are always in the front, but on the economic front we have to learn. I just remember the Jews, we should follow something, learn from there also, because they are also very small community, but as far as I know, the capital and this finance all over the world, somewhere it is controlled by the Jews. So maybe we should learn something from everybody and everywhere, and requesting one and all to please give your inputs. There will be some link or मेरे ख्याल कल अपन डिस्कस कर रहे थे EduSig का कुछ हैगा.
हाँ, EduSig email ID दे देती है क्या?
Email ID दे देती है, तो we should need at least new ideas and we should start planning and working on that. And one more thing, the request is we can share this recording with some links, so someone we have missed, so we can revisit and again revise what we have missed it. And PPT presentations and recordings, if we can share, it will be good for everyone. And for those who could not attend, we can share with them also. So, मेरे ख्याल मेरी तरफों इतना ही है. I'll once again thank everybody, especially Paramjit Singh ji, KP Singh ji, Sani Saab, and all the team behind this, all technical. I don't remember that Singh Saab Kal Sadnal joined hoisi. From on behalf of our president, our whole executive committee, and each and every Sikh of Mumbai, New Bombay, Maharashtra, all over India, on behalf of everybody, I thank you one and all. And I'm sure, I'm confident that this learning process should not stop and it should continue on a better scales. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So with that, we wind up our session today, and hopefully we look forward to having the Sikh Chamber of Commerce, an excellent initiative. We, of course, will take it forward. I suppose we will push this PPT and from both the gentlemen onto the email IDs registered with us. And in the days to come, we will open up the entire recording on the EduSig website. But for the moment, on the first very edition, and I want to bring this point to everybody's notice, we had over 197 registrations for today's talk. So it's highly possible कि कई लोग register कितना पर attend ना कर पाए हों. So तोड़ी गाल बिल्कुल ठीक है मनमोहन सिंह जी. We will push this information on the internet as well. But thank you very much to everybody, and have a wonderful evening. With that, we sign off. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.